the dim reaches of the solar system. The Kuiper Belt, where sunlight is but a pale memory, the final frontier of humanity before the plunge into the infinite abyss between stars. Here, Frontier Station stood, a solitary fortress, cobbled together from old modules, yet resolutely defying the encroaching darkness. Frontier was not a symbol of opulence, but an embodiment of audacity, courage, and humanity's yearning for conquest. It was home to hardy frontier soldiers weathered by cosmic storms, dedicated scientists carrying the torch of discovery, and skilled engineers with ingenious hands, all united in guarding Earth's last outpost, ready to embrace the mysteries and perils of the vast universe. Lieutenant Eva Rostova, a steadfast daughter of Mars, had just arrived at Frontier. Leaving behind the neon-lit, domed cities and bustling rhythm of her homeworld, Eva felt transported to a different world. Frontier was somber, desolate, yet within its silence lay a strange allure, an adventurous call into the unknown. She quickly learned that at this remote outpost, cutting-edge technology was secondary. Grit, intelligence, and camaraderie were the true keys to survival and victory. Little did Eva know, however, that the real trial lurked in the boundless darkness beyond, bringing with it a terrifying threat, endangering not just Frontier, but the fate of all humanity. One tranquil night, shift became the starting point of a nightmare. The long-range warning system roared to life, tearing through Frontier's silent night. The radar screen flared, flashing a deadly red signal. A colossal object, moving at an impossible speed, was hurtling in from the frigid Kuiper Belt. Delta-level alert. Unidentified alien object encroaching on Earth Alliance space. Approaching from the Kuiper Belt direction. Alarms blared, echoing throughout the station, sowing seeds of utter unease. Lieutenant Colonel Jian Li, Frontier's seasoned commander, arrived at the central control room with lightning speed. His face hardened, and he barked out orders. Immediate trajectory analysis. Identify target designation. Technicians sprang into action, fingers dancing across keyboards. Information was rapidly decoded, displayed on the main screen. Report, Lieutenant Colonel. Object, oversized, estimated to be equivalent to a heavy destroyer. Speed, beyond the measurement capabilities of all standard radar systems. Energy signature analysis confirmed it's a warship of the Vorath Alliance. Silence descended upon the control room. The name Vorath Alliance hung heavy like a death sentence. They were the infamous, brutal empires spanning the galaxy, the terror of countless civilized races. Vorath, the cosmic conqueror, the sower of slavery and destruction. Earth Alliance had never directly confronted Vorath, but chilling tales of their ruthlessness and unparalleled might had become a constant dread in the subconscious of every human. Vorath, why are they here? Eva whispered, a chilling sensation gripping her heart. Lieutenant Colonel Li clenched his teeth, his eyes burning with hatred. I don't know, but it's certainly not for afternoon tea. Station-wide, battle stations. Maximize energy shields. Fighter squadron, immediate launch. Frontier Station shuddered, growling as it shifted into war mode. Weapon systems awakened, surging with power. Fighter pilots plunged into cockpits, hearts pounding, ready for the lopsided battle. Despite knowing the odds of victory were near zero, not a soul on Frontier showed fear. They were children of Earth, HFY blood coursing through their veins, the will to fight ingrained as instinct. On screen, the colossal Vorath warship loomed, growing larger, filling the void. It was massive, jet black, resembling a grotesque mechanical monster, its fiery energy cannons snarling. It didn't decelerate, simply charged onward, crushing all in its path. Vorath warship, refusing all communications. A technician's voice trembled. They've locked onto the station. Weapons hot. Lieutenant Colonel Li clenched his fist, roaring, Open fire first. Preemptive strike. Let the Vorath scum see. Earthlings are not lambs for the slaughter. Frontier's defensive cannons unleashed a barrage. Plasma energy bolts tore through the cosmic darkness, hurtling toward the Vorath warship. But the enemy's energy shields were too potent, swallowing all of Frontier's attacks as if they were mere gnats. Instantly, the Vorath warship retaliated. A devastating energy torrent swept across space, striking Frontier's shields, causing the entire station to convulse violently. Alarms wailed, deafening, signaling the shield's rapid decay. Shields down to 70%, 60%, 50%. Lieutenant Colonel Lee gritted his teeth, ordering in desperation. Concentrate fire. Prioritize their weapon systems. Fighter squadron, provide supporting fire. Try to buy us time. Frontier's fighter squadron, brave steel hornets, surged forth to engage. They courageously dove into attack runs on the Vorath warship, but the enemy's dense anti-aircraft fire quickly turned the fighters into streaks of light extinguished in the inky void. Report from fighter squadron, casualties, too heavy. A broken report echoed back to control, sowing further despair. Eva turned to Lieutenant Colonel Lee, anxiety rising within her. Lieutenant Colonel, do we still have any chance? Lieutenant Colonel Lee gazed at the screen, where the Vorath warship closed in with overwhelming destructive power. After a heavy silence, he turned to Eva, his eyes unusually resolute. Chance, perhaps only a sliver remains, but that doesn't mean we've lost hope. We, Earthlings, never give up. We will fight to our last breath. For Earth, for freedom. The battle unfolded in the most unfavorable direction. The Vorath warship utterly outclassed Frontier in every aspect. Superior firepower, thicker armor, stronger shields. Each attack from Frontier was like water off a duck's back, while every countervolley from Vorath tore another piece from the station's fragile defenses. Shields, only 20%. 10%. Warning. Structural integrity. Critical red alert. Lieutenant Colonel Lee understood that the decisive moment had arrived. The shields were about to collapse. Frontier Station would bear the full brunt of Vorath's destructive fury. The fate of everyone aboard seemed sealed. Order. All personnel, prepare for emergency evacuation. Lieutenant Colonel Lee's voice was heavy, yet resolute. Prioritize rescue of scientists and civilians. Armed forces, prepare to fight to the death. Defend the station. Cover the evacuation. But as the evacuation order was yet to be implemented, an unforeseen event occurred. The Vorath warship abruptly ceased fire. The comm screen flared to life, displaying an image of a grotesque alien creature. Blue-skinned, red-eyed, face contorted with long, wriggling tentacles. It was Forlag, Supreme Commander of the Vorath Alliance. Forlag's shrill voice, a horrifying sound, echoed throughout Frontier Station. Earthling vermin. You have no chance of victory. Your resistance is futile. Surrender, unconditionally. Submit to the Vorath Alliance, and perhaps you may be spared. Silence fell upon the control room. All eyes turned to Lieutenant Colonel Lee, awaiting the life-or-death decision. Eva's heart hammered in her chest, suffocating. This was a historical moment. The moment that would decide the fate of Frontier, and perhaps Earth itself. Lieutenant Colonel Lee raised his head high, staring straight into the screen, his gaze unwavering. Taking a deep breath, he spoke in a voice of steel, resounding throughout the space station. Vorath Alliance. Hear this. Earthlings, never surrender. We will fight to our last breath. And you will pay the price for your foolish arrogance. Lieutenant Colonel Lee's thunderous roar tore through the suffocating atmosphere, like a resounding thunderclap awakening the indomitable will of Frontier Station. From soldiers to scientists, from engineers to medical personnel, everyone felt a fire ignited within their hearts. The HFY spirit, Humanity's unwavering pride surged forth more powerfully than ever. HFY. A unified roar echoed from the control room, spreading throughout the station. A declaration of war of defiance. A vow of death over surrender. And a steadfast affirmation of belief in the extraordinary strength of humanity. Supreme Commander Forlag seemed taken aback by the Earthling's fierce response. He sneered, a sinister smile twisting his face. "Oh? So eager to die? Very well. I shall grant you a glorious death." The Vorath warship roared back to life, unleashing an even more devastating assault upon Frontier. Energy shields shattered completely. Vorath fire rained down like a destructive torrent, tearing through the station's robust metal hull, destroying systems, modules, sowing death and devastation everywhere. Frontier Station taking direct hits. Casualties rising rapidly. Heartbreaking reports poured in, tearing at the soul. But the Frontier warriors did not falter. They fought, and fought, utilizing everything they could as weapons. From the last defensive cannons, heavy machine guns, to personal rifles, daggers, even bare hands. They fought in ruined hallways, in burning control rooms, in convulsing cargo bays, determined to defend every inch of space station ground. Eva Rostova, energy rifle in hand, plunged into the hail of fire side by side with her comrades. Grueling combat training had forged her skills and courage. But this was the first time she truly faced the brutality of war, with death looming close. Yet fear vanished. In Eva's heart, only one thought remained: fight. Fight to protect the innocent. Fight for freedom and dignity. Fight to make the monstrous Vorath understand. Earthlings were not weaklings easily subdued. The grueling, fierce battle raged on for hours. Frontier Station, ravaged and crumbling, with its defenses almost completely paralyzed. Vorath troops swarmed onto the station, initiating a bloody ground war. Hallways, cargo bays, laboratories, every corner of Frontier became a fiery battlefield. Gunfire, explosions, screams, clashing metal, echoed like a deadly symphony. Eva, along with a group of steadfast soldiers, held their ground in the central control room, the last remaining bastion, still maintaining a fraction of the defense systems. They returned fire like a storm, repelling wave after wave of Vorath assaults. But the enemy outnumbered them, their weapons outmatched them. Frontier's forces thinned, exhaustion setting in, ammunition running low. "We can't hold out much longer." A young soldier trembled, despair in his voice. Eva glanced around the control room. Faces smudged with soot, eyes weary, bloodshot, yet still burning with resilience. She knew they stood on the brink of defeat. But surrender was never an option. "No, we still have one trump card." Eva gritted her teeth, her voice ringing with determination. She pointed at the screen displaying Frontier Station schematics, her eyes blazing. "Project Doomsday Weapon, remember it?" Everyone stared at each other, stunned. "Doomsday Weapon? You mean that secret project really exists?" Eva nodded emphatically. "I just found the information in the station's data system. Doomsday Weapon, the ultimate defense system, designed to detonate the entire energy core, creating a super explosion, destroying everything within a radius of hundreds of kilometers." A soldier paled, horrified. "But detonating the energy core? Then we will be annihilated alongside the Vorath scum?" Eva turned, looking directly into the soldier's eyes. Her voice steely, unwavering. "Yes. But that is the only path. Better to die standing than live kneeling. We absolutely will not let Vorath seize Frontier, turn it into a base to attack Earth. We will self-destruct the station and drag those Vorath bastards down to hell with us." Eva's audacious decision left everyone in the control room stunned into silence. But after a brief pause, shock quickly turned to unity resolve. They understood that this was the ultimate sacrifice, the greatest sacrifice, but also the most noble and meaningful. They would use their own lives to protect Earth, protect the future of humanity. Eva swiftly guided the technicians to activate the Doomsday weapon system. The activation procedure was exceedingly complex, requiring passage through layers of security, biometric verifications, encryption keys. Time ticked by heavily. Each second, each minute stretched endlessly in the suffocating tension. Outside the control room, gunfire, explosions grew fiercer, more frequent, indicating Vorath troops were closing in. Finally, after heart-stopping efforts, the Doomsday weapon system successfully activated. A cold, mechanical voice echoed through the control room. Energy core self-destruct sequence initiated. Countdown timer, 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's more than enough. Eva managed a faint, sorrowful smile, but her eyes still blazed with extraordinary resolve. She turned to look at her comrades, her voice choked with emotion. Comrades, we have fought our best. Now, it's time to end this battle. Let's together send those Vorath to hell. Everyone rose, clutching their weapons, ready for the final moments. Eva stepped onto the command platform, activated the station-wide communication system. Her voice resonated, tragic, heroic. To all Frontier Station warriors, this is Lieutenant Eva Rostova. I'm announcing the Doomsday weapons system has been activated. We only have 10 minutes to live, but we will not waste these last moments. We will continue to fight to our last breath, to make the Vorath scum pay the price for their invasion, to show the entire galaxy that Earthlings never yield. Eva's steel-forged rallying cry echoed across Frontier Station, igniting flames of passion, bolstering the courage and resolve of every warrior still standing. From every corner of the space station, deafening roars of HFY surged like thunder, drowning out the din of gunfire. Frontier warriors, fully aware of impending death, still charged forth like moths to a flame, assaulting the Vorath forces with unprecedented valor. They no longer fought for survival, but for honor, for freedom, for humanity's pride. Eva led the last group of soldiers, bursting out of the control room, charging straight into the Vorath ranks flooding the hallway. She returned fire relentlessly, like a whirlwind, felling Vorath soldiers left and right. Her courageous comrades fought like lions, covering Eva, forming a steel wedge piercing through the enemy lines. In the fiercest moment of the battle, Eva came face to face with Supreme Commander Forlag. He loomed before her, his monstrous face contorted in rage and scorn, red eyes burning with malice. Foolish humans, you still stubbornly resist. Pathetic, Forlag snarled, his voice guttural. Eva sneered, retorting with a cold, contemptuous smile. Pathetic? No, pathetic. Are you, Vorath scum? You dared to dream of conquering humanity? Keep dreaming. Earthlings never will be slaves. We will show you the true power of the HFY spirit. With those words, Eva lunged into attack, engaging Forlag in a fierce, life-or-death hand-to-hand combat in the confined space of the hallway. Forlag, with his hulking physique and superior physical strength, held the advantage in raw power. But Eva, with her agility, skill, combat expertise, and unwavering will, continuously evaded, countered, forcing Forlag to struggle to defend himself, gradually losing his initial ferocity. While Eva battled Forlag in a fight to the death, the Doomsday weapon countdown mercilessly continued. 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Alarms wailed relentlessly, piercing the eardrums, reminding everyone of the approaching annihilation. But the frontier warriors remained unfazed. They still fought, steadfastly holding back the Vorath forces, covering Eva to complete her final mission. They knew that sacrifice was inevitable, but this sacrifice would not be in vain. It would be a costly lesson for the Vorath Alliance, and a beacon of hope, igniting the unyielding belief in humanity across the galaxy. The duel between Eva and Vorath grew ever more ferocious, suffocatingly intense. Eva, smaller in stature, weaker in brute strength, but with a fighting spirit to her last breath, coupled with her intelligence and superb agility, gradually gained the upper hand. She continuously unleashed sharp, precise attacks, aiming directly at Vorath's vital weaknesses, inflicting continuous injuries, his strength rapidly waning. And finally, in a moment of lightning-fast evasion, Eva suddenly closed in on Vorath, unleashing the decisive strike. She jammed the muzzle of her energy rifle against the monster commander's chest and pulled the trigger. Bang! A brilliant blue energy beam tore through space, piercing Vorath's thick armor, incinerating his vital organs. Supreme Commander Vorath roared in soul-wrenching agony, then collapsed, falling heavily to the floor, as lifeless as a fallen mountain. Eva gasped for breath, collapsing beside Vorath's corpse, feeling her entire body drained, weary to the bone. But in her heart, a powerful sense of pride surged. She had won, defeated the strongest foe, completed her historical mission. Supreme Commander Vorath's demise dealt a fatal blow to the Vorath troops' morale. Their ranks began to crumble, panic spreading, disorientation setting in. Fearful cries, the sound of retreating footsteps echoed everywhere. The Vorath forces were breaking. Riding the tide of victory, the remaining frontier warriors, despite being wounded, exhausted, still bravely counterattacked, sweeping the invaders from Frontier Station. Roars of HFY surged like thunder, drowning out even the gunfire, heralding victory was at hand. But the countdown timer continued its relentless march. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. Everyone understood clearly, despite defeating Vorath forces, they could not reverse the station's self-destruction fate. Death was unavoidable. Eva gathered the last surviving warriors, looking at them with affection, admiration, and gratitude. Comrades, we did it. We defeated the Vorath scum, protected Frontier Station, protected beloved Earth. A young warrior, face smeared with blood and grime, looked up at Eva, his voice choked with emotion. So, we are going to die here, Lieutenant. Eva nodded gently, her voice somber, yet resolute. Yes, but we will not die in vain. Our sacrifice will be a costly lesson for the Vorath and a beacon of hope for all humanity. We will prove to the entire galaxy that Earthlings would rather die than be enslaved. The countdown timer, only seconds remained. 10, 9, 8. Frontier warriors grasped each other's hands, together raising their voices in the victory anthem of Earth, a heroic, tragic melody, echoing in the vast, frigid space. Eva walked to the control room window, gazing out at the distant Kuiper Belt. Stars twinkled like diamonds on the velvet black of space. In her heart, peace, pride surged. She knew that in mere moments, she and her valiant comrades would merge into this boundless universe. But their spirit, their unwavering will, would live forever in the hearts of humanity. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bomb! A cataclysmic explosion tore through space. Frontier Station erupted into a colossal fireball, engulfing everything within a 100-kilometer radius. The aggressive Vorath warship, caught in the blast's epicenter, also disintegrated into dust. The Kuiper Belt blazed brightly for a fleeting moment, then plunged back into endless, silent darkness. The explosion at Frontier Station shook the entire solar system. Earth and its distant human colonies felt the tremor of the super explosion, even billions of kilometers away. News of the valiant, heroic sacrifice of frontier's warriors spread with light speed, deeply moving and shocking all of humanity. Initially, Earth was plunged into grief, mourning, and outrage at Frontier's heroic sacrifice. But then, sorrow gradually transformed into pride, gratitude, and resolve. Everyone realized that Frontier's sacrifice was not in vain. It had sent the most resounding, heroic message to the Vorath Alliance and to the vast galaxy. Earthlings would rather die than be enslaved. After the Frontier battle, the Vorath Alliance, the brutal cosmic conquerors, had to recoil before the indomitable will, the unwavering HFY spirit of humanity. They did not dare to risk invading Earth, and gradually retreated from the Kuiper Belt, abandoning their ambitions to expand into the solar system. The sacrifice of Frontier, of Lieutenant Eva Rostova, and her heroic comrades, had protected Earth and ushered in a new era, an era of freedom and peace for humanity in the vast universe. Eva Rostova and the Frontier Warriors became immortal legends in human history. Their names, their feats, and their valiant spirit were forever etched in memory, eternally honored. Frontier Station, though vanished into oblivion, lived on in the hearts of humanity as an everlasting symbol of courage, noble sacrifice, and the indomitable, unyielding will of humankind. HFY. Humanity, fuck yeah. That undying spirit, once again, resonated across the galaxy, affirming the age-old truth. Though small, fragile, yet when united as one, determined to the end, humanity can overcome any challenge, conquer any enemy, and successfully defend the most sacred values, freedom and dignity.